Hello, welcome to another video. I put a fake tan on, not that you can really tell because I'm so pasty, and I've been faffing around for God knows how long trying to get this effing set up to make it look a little bit better. But anyway, so today I'm going to talk about my time as a special constable, which I didn't do for that long, but I did it for near enough 2 years back in 2013. It was quite an interesting time and I learnt a lot. Couple of jobs I went to that were interesting, and this one today though I want to talk about one of the officers that was tutoring me, a story that I asked him and that he disclosed with me, which was probably one of the worst jobs he'd been to. So just to let you know, it's a bit of a gruesome one, so if you want to turn it off now then do, but otherwise continue watching. So he told me, as far as I can remember, some of this might be wrong, but it did stick with me as well once he told me. So he had been out to a job which was a fear for welfare for a girl who had just started university. She had been struggling with mental health issues, and she had been struggling with what sounded like, you know, paranoia. I'm not sure the background of her or her history, but she had this is all found out afterwards, she had been paranoid that people were following her and watching her, and the government were watching every move of hers. And she went to university. I think she then quit and came home, and she was at home with her parents, and one day her dad went to knock on her bedroom door, couldn't get in, it was locked, and then, you know, like kind of everything was pushed up against it, so she barricaded herself in. And the poor girl had taken her life, but it was in quite a traumatic way. So I think she'd left a load of notes saying that she had to take her life because, you know, these people were following her and watching every move that she had, and, you know, that she thought she was in some sort of danger or trouble. So she was completely paranoid. And I didn't know this at the time, but now I do because of this story, that you have two main arteries where your leg joins your groin, and she had taken to there, so she had cut both sides, and that's how she killed herself. So it wasn't a very, well, it's never pleasant, but it was a very messy one, as far as I can remember. And well, I was told, I wasn't there. And her dad, anyway, I think he could see through the keyhole of the door. So he was trying to get in, obviously couldn't get in, had to call officers out. And that's when officers came out and, you know, barged in. And there were no life-saving opportunities. She had already gone at that point. But that was one that had clearly stuck with him. And he did tell me, because I asked. And, you know, it's good to talk, as we've said. But it's a pretty gruesome one. But like I say, that wasn't my job. I didn't go to anything that horrific, thankfully. I went to a couple of sudden deaths. They were elderly ladies, and one of them, bless her, she had sat down, obviously drying up, I think. It was quite surreal. So she had sat down, she had been drying up in her kitchen. She had a glass or a cup and a tea towel in it, and she just died like that. I don't know how she didn't fall. Maybe she was leaning, but it was almost like a mannequin. She had the cup and the washing up tea towel, and she was just sat like that. And she didn't look like she was in pain. She didn't look like anything, you know, there was any suffering. She was just sat there, like I say, just like a mannequin. I remember going in with some colleagues, and yeah, you know, 10-10, she's dead. And I was upstairs, like looking around for medication and anything. We have to do like a search of the house to make sure there's nothing suspicious. I was doing that, and I heard this almighty crack, and I thought, oh, I've never heard anything like that before. And my tutor said, oh, they've just snapped her body down because rigor mortis had set in, so they had to crack her out straight. And the undertakers had come and, you know, bagged her out, bless her, and took her away. I mean, she hadn't suffered, clearly, as far as I'm aware. She didn't look like she'd struggled or anything. It was very surreal. But yeah, that was an interesting one. And my other sudden death was another old lady. And I remember we had a call from, you know, her neighbours, and they went to her house and managed to open the door, and she had died in the hallway, so she was just laying there, bless her. And again, had to do a search of the house, write down medication, that sort of thing, make sure there was nothing suspicious, and had to sit there for quite a few hours waiting for the undertakers to turn up to take her away. And obviously we're trying to contact next of kin and stuff as well at that point, but that was very surreal again, because I was with a different chap that time and I was just sat there writing up medication, and you could just see this dead body just laying in the hallway, and I'm just sat in her living room writing up all the meds that she was on. But yeah, it's a surreal thing, but you know, it has to be done. I've learned a lot from these experiences. I think it's been worth doing. Nothing horrific, as I said, thankfully, and I'm glad I was there to look after those elderly ladies at that last moment in their lives in a respectful way, so you know, that's good. But yeah, that's as much as I've experienced face to face. Over the phone it's a bit more, it's slightly more dramatic because you're kind of like imagining things yourself, so you're not faced with a situation that you can picture. I don't know if that's worse or what, I don't know really, but from my experience, from seeing death like that and then hearing traumatic incidents on the phone, sometimes the phone call's worse because your brain tends to imagine like the worst case scenario. You're picturing like a horrific scene, whereas it might not be that bad. Lots of screaming and shouting, and it might not be that bad, I don't know. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Take care on this hot sunny day, and I shall catch you next time. I'll try and do them more regularly and consistently, these videos, but give us a like if you could and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.